Hello and welcome, Emily. I'm Viviana Guzman reporting for the fluteview.com, and my special guest today is what is your title? The chairman of the jury of the Geneva competition?
Yes.
Okay.
Even after 2 weeks, I'm still not quite comfortable with the title. But I think officially it's something like that, yes.
And well, so tell us a little bit how it all was. What are your thoughts, and how did the whole thing happen?
Well, I'm just full of admiration for all these young players who played a phenomenally difficult program, all of it from memory, except the chamber music round.
Right.
But all of it, contemporary pieces, and Carl Philipp and Karg Ellet, Sonata Appassionata, and a whole recital program of 45 minutes.
Wow.
And then 2 concertos, one after the other, and they all did so well. And so I spent half my time thinking, this is just the best job ever, getting to hear all these wonderful musicians.
Yeah.
And then the other half thinking, oh my God, this is awful. I've got to send half of them home.
Yes. It's a very tough job. It's very, very difficult, especially when the caliber is just so amazing. I mean, I just saw the finals last night in the recorded, and I was like, wow, each one. And then I heard it again this morning as I was getting dressed, because it makes for a wonderful, just amazing. I mean, and so the big controversy on Facebook that I saw this morning was, why no first place? So what happened?
Oh gosh, gosh. Yes. Well, how do you answer that? I mean, it was very clearly a tie. I think it's very difficult to unhear what you've heard in earlier rounds. Yeah, it's all weighs up together. I mean, they were all winners, really. They really were.
The bottom line is that's so true. I mean, we even had the winner of the Nielsen Concerto, Sebastian. It just depends on the day. It depends on so many elements. It depends, and it's not an easy job.
It's really not. It's really very difficult to have to choose. In a way, it's very easy because, when you get the goosebumps, then it's a pass. And if you don't, then you sort of start thinking, well, it's a wonderful sound, or it's the intonation's wonderful, and what great articulation, but why aren't I touched? Or, so why am I thinking about articulation? Why am I thinking about the kind of vibrato or the color that they're using or whatever?
Yeah. And
some, you just sit back and realize that after 10 minutes you haven't written anything on the page,
Yeah.
And so that's a sign that it's someone that you want to hear more of. And I think basically all 3 finalists were certainly people that we will be hearing a lot more of in the future. So
yeah, I believe so too. Yeah. And how about the rest of the jury? Who was on the panel?
There are 7 of us. So Silvia Carredo is a previous first prize winner of Geneva, so she knows exactly how it feels to be standing exactly on that stage. Mathieu Dufour, previously from Chicago, now going to Berlin.
Yeah.
And then we had Felix Rengli from Switzerland, Sakai Sensei, Japanese member of the jury, and Andrea Liebeknecht, Eyal Ein Haba from Israel.
Yeah.
And, it's great, different ages, male, female, different schools of playing. And, all the way through it was very, very clear. We discussed last night after the final for the first time, genuinely. The previous 3 rounds, it was such a clear-cut decision. So that's always nice.
Yeah.
In the final, yes, that's then it comes down to really, they're all so good. Then it's a question of taste. And
yes.
Yeah, there could have been 2 first prizes. There were 2 second prizes. In the final, it just comes down much more to personal taste.
It's such a subjective thing. It's not like a sports competition where the timer dictates exactly what happened. Or even in like a football or soccer, some of the calls can be, you look at the video and then the judge, the referee, whatever. And this is so subjective. It's apples and oranges. And in the end.
And they played 2 concertos. And I think probably that's the answer, is that, they all played Mozart D major and they all played Jolivet concerto. And, they're 2 very different pieces. So they all knocked us out with the Jolivets.
Yes.
And then the Mozart, then it comes much more down to a sort of personal style.
Well, like you said, bottom line, they're all winners. And
absolutely.
And, it depends on so many different little factors. And
all the people that came to Geneva passed a really tough preliminary round.
Yeah.
Because I think there was something like 165 applicants we listened to.
Yeah.
We spent 3 days listening in May, and we invited 50 of them. 42 of them came. So I would consider them already winners, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
The level of playing was really astonishing.
Yeah.
It was a privilege to get to listen to them all, really.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Emily, for taking your time today to giving
My
us
pleasure.
giving us a little recap of behind the scenes, what the judges were, the tough job that the judges had this year. Okay, well, thank you so much for speaking with us. FluteView.com. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Viviana.